So, very good evening to all of you. In our last lecture, we studied about the initial part of this chapter, biodiversity needs conservation. There we talked about definition of biodiversity. What are the parameters like species richness, species evenness, with which we uh, alpha, beta, and gamma diversity, with which we measure the extent of diversity. Also, we talked about classification of diversity, which includes the species diversity, genetic diversity, and ecosystem diversity. So now we will be moving towards the next part of the chapter, where we are going to talk about the grave concern we face. There is an organization called IUCN, International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. They spoke about presence of 1.5 million species, but there are areas on Earth or in Earth or above Earth where we still cannot reach, and we may be feeling proud that we can be omnipresent. कहीं पे भी हम चले जाते हैं, but there are areas where we still cannot reach. So we can expect the presence of organisms whose location or whose characteristics are still not studied. So this gentleman, Robert May, estimated that 7 million species would have on Earth. So that means till date we discovered up to 22. So this 22% was in 2004. Now if I consider even the 30 to 35%, still miles to go before we finish. Okay, so total number of species on Earth is including more number of, or rather to say not number, I am talking about more number of species of animals. So out of the species diversity of Earth, more is animal and less is about plants and fungi. You know, you studied in grade 11, in animal kingdom, the most abundant one is insecta, that is Arthropoda. It is the largest phylum of animal kingdom, and second largest is, कोई second largest को नहीं पूछता है, याद रखो। हाँ, लाइफ में भी एप्लीकेबल है, जो फर्स्ट रैंकर है उसी को पूछा जाता है। It is mollusca. Okay, and in plants it is angiosperm. Okay, so biodiversity of India. In case of India, if we consider about the land area of a world, India is occupying only 2.4% area of the world. मतलब वर्ल्ड का टोटल एरिया अगर मैं 100% पकड़ूं तो उसमें से इंडिया का एरिया आता है 2.4%. But if I'm talking about biodiversity of the world, the contribution of India is 8.1, which is quite large. But we are not happy with this. We want to drag it down. So every day we are cutting jungles and we are causing the loss of biodiversity. So it is one of the 12 mega diversity countries, and nearly 45,000 species of plants and approximately 1 lakh animals are residing in that area. That is our country. And actually, as per May's idea, India must be having 1 lakh species of plants and 3 lakh species of animals, which is quite extraordinary. Now, biologists are actually not sure about prokaryotic species. Why? Because something which is easily visible is easily to discover, classify, and talk about. Who knows the special variety of bacteria lingering in this room, which is making some people lazy and not allowing to study? maybe there. We cannot see, so we cannot say. I was joking, no such bacteria is possible. Huh? Priyanshi was seriously thinking about something like that, if it is possible or not. So, but prokaryotes are generally not easy to be seen with naked eyes, and we don't go everywhere. पता नहीं वो कुछ साइंटिस्ट दिखाते हैं, मैड साइंटिस्ट आंखों में चश्मे में माइक्रोस्कोप घूमते हुए. We don't do that. So generally most challenging is for microbes, because many a times it is difficult to cultivate them in lab, difficult to handle them, because you cannot see them, no, better with naked eyes. So if we are talking about now patterns of biodiversity, so when I'm talking about patterns of biodiversity, there are latitudinal gradients. So you know what is latitude and longitude, the imaginary lines we draw to designate the position of an area. जैसे अहमदाबाद का कोऑर्डिनेशन का एक लैटिट्यूड होगा, एक लॉन्गिट्यूड होगा. ओके, सो if we see the latitudinal gradient, we see that species diversity decrease as we move towards the pole. But natural, I told you, in harsh conditions, chances of creation of new species is less. So in there is a nice example of latitudinal gradient over here. Colombia, which is near equator, is having 1014 species of bird. India, which is near tropics, that is tropics means Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, it's having greater than 1200 species. In New York, which is above 105. So can you see the drastic decrease? 1000 say 100, and in Greenland it is 56. So now tropical area is very rich in diversity. Okay, tropical rainforest. You know, we talk a lot about Amazonian rainforest. They are biodiversity hub. Okay, so why tropical forests are having better number of species than temperate forests? Let us try and find out. So it says that tropical region forests are having high number of vascular plant species compared to the temperate forest. Okay, so apart from this, we can talk about different types of species found in Amazon rainforest. You can see it is too high, more than 40,000 types of plant species. And look into the number of invertebrates, you will be shocked. Okay, so that's why, you know, last year there was a fire in Amazon forest, so biodiversity loss was there. So why, what is the reason for species richness in tropics? Three reasons are there. First of all, tropics has more evolutionary time. Evolutionary time means that means that if you look into the tropic area, you will be easy to like understand that when Earth is revolving, the climate change is not that much in tropical region. Okay, and more evolutionary time, because when Earth was created, the equatorial region was very heated region. Why? Because it is more close to sun and it is getting direct sunlight from sun. And at that time, atmosphere was not there. And the polar region was very cold. So tropical region got more chances and opportunity to go for evolution. So more time of evolution, that means more speciation, so more number of species. And if there is constant climate, a species get chance to get speciation. You know how species is created? If you can remember, I told you कि there is a change in situation. जैसे मैंने आप लोगों को जिराफ का एग्जांपल दिया था. In a population, long-necked giraffe was existing, middle neck and short neck. Initially, the long-necked one were not appreciated. Why? इतना बड़ा गला लेके कहीं पे भी फंस जाता है, कोई भी पकड़ लेता है, खा लेता है. They were very unhappy. Suddenly, there was a forest fire where all grasses were destroyed. Trees were there. So now situation changed. So the long necked ones are getting advantage. They are separated from the other ones because other ones didn't have anything to eat, so they migrated from that area. So this developed as giraffe, which is a new species. Now imagine an area जहाँ पे साल में 2 महीने बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी रहती है, फिर बहुत ज्यादा बारिश होती है, फिर थोड़ा नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर, फिर ठंडी होती है. अरे यार, हाउ वन स्पीशीज कैन सर्वाइव? इट इज टू फास्ट चेंजिंग, नो बेटा. Change is required for speciation, but if this change is too frequent, then the adaptation and development of a new species will not be possible, no? आप में से किसी का अगर रोज रोज सब्जेक्ट चेंज होता रहे तो वो एक सब्जेक्ट में अच्छा रिजल्ट कैसे करे? कौशा सोच रही है, बोलेगी कि रोज रोज चैप्टर तो चेंज होता है ना, एक चैप्टर में हम मार्क्स कहाँ से लाए? ओके, so I can understand, you can compare. They receive more solar energy which contribute to greater productivity. So if productivity of ecosystem is more, you must have remembered the 10% law of ecosystem. So if initial level productivity is more, the energy that seeps into the next trophic level will be more, no? So the ecosystem will be stable one and they get more chances. So these are very valid question. Why tropical region have highest species richness? Now, there was Alexander von Humboldt of South America, and as he was from South America, he got opportunity to visit Amazon rainforest, and he observed that if we are increasing the area, the species richness increase. That means the number of species is increasing. Okay, but is it like up to a limit? Why up to a limit? फिर हम एरिया बढ़ा रहे तो और जगह के और स्पीशीज आने चाहिए, तो नंबर तो बढ़नी ही चाहिए. Because beta, what happens is, in an area with a similar geographical, meteorological condition, small areas of variation can be there. So if in a big area I am looking for this much area, this many species will be present. I am exploring more, number of species increase, number of species increase, number of species increase. But if after a certain extent, even if I am extending the area, the variation in habitat is not there. There will not be any further increase in. That's why there is a relationship between species richness and area, but up to a limit. So it is shared by a graph, where in x-axis area is there and in y-axis species richness is there, and it is calculated as S equal to CAZ, where S is species richness, C is the y-intercept. अब ये तुम लोगों को समझाना बहुत मुश्किल है कि y-intercept क्या है. पता है? This is the equation of straight line. Disadvantage of not having maths in grade 11. Equation of straight line is y equal to mx plus c. फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री में पढ़े ही हो। तो वाई इंटरसेप्ट मीन्स जो लाइन जिस पॉइंट में वाई को इंटरसेप्ट करता है, और स्लोप मीन्स जेड इज द स्लोप, कि वो लाइन की एंगल जितनी बढ़ती है उसकी स्लोप उतना बढ़ता है। ओके, so if I put this in log scale, log to you, all of you must be expert by now. So log a is equal to log c plus z log a. log के रूल्स तो आते हैं ना, मल्टीपल मतलब प्लस, so in logarithm whenever there is into sign, for example c into a, no, it is described as plus, एंड a टू द पावर z मतलब log जब हम लिखते हैं वो z सामने आ जाएगा, सो इट विल बी z log a। ठीक है, और log की जब बेस मेंशन नहीं की होती है दैट मींस इट इज 10। ओके, सो generally for small areas z value is 0.1 to 0.2, and larger areas it can be 0.6 to 1, more than 1 value is possible. So by looking into this value of z, you can decide that the area is a smaller one or the bigger one. Okay, अब कौन डिसाइड करता है एरिया स्मॉल है या बिग है? तुम डिसाइड करते हो, तुम कितना एरिया स्टडी कर रहे हो। अंडरस्टूड? दैट इज अप टू यू। किसी का मन करे वो सबसे बड़ा एरिया ले ले, बायोस्फीयर। So now we will talk about importance of species diversity. जो मैं बोल रही थी कि धीरे धीरे हमारे वर्ल्ड की बायोडाइवर्सिटी कम हो रही है। अब कई बार हम बोलते हैं कहाँ डोडो पंछी था, क्या काम होता था, गया भला, मुझे क्या लेना देना उससे, मुझे थोड़ी ना अंडा देने आता। बट ऐसा नहीं होता है बेटा। नेक्स्ट लेक्चर व्हेन वी विल लर्न अबाउट इकोसिस्टम, यू विल नो दैट जैसे जरदोसी साड़ी का काम होता है, पता है, धागा एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए होते, एक कट जाए तो पूरे डिजाइन निकल जाते हैं। सेम इज आवर इकोसिस्टम। ठीक है, एक मस्त मूवी है डिज्नी का, बी बी मूवी बोलते, देखना एनिमेशन, आई डोंट नो इफ यू एनिमेशन। उसमें दिखाते हैं कि हनी बीज को ऐसा लगता है कि हम उनकी हनीज को छीन लेते हैं, तो वो स्ट्राइक पे उतर जाता है। एंड देयर वाज नो प्लांट्स, व्हाई, हु विल पॉलिनेट देम? ओके, सो beautiful flowers whom we love for their fragrances, color were diminished. Okay, so that's why we need to understand that diversity is more chances of survival is there. Always remember, because if situation change tomorrow, earth will have better chances of survival. ठीक है, जैसे कि हम अब क्या कर रहे हैं, हम पुराने जो ओरिजिनल व्हीट राइस के स्पीशीज है उनको रिप्लेस कर रहे हैं हाई यील्डिंग वैरायटीज। मुझे सिर्फ इससे मतलब है कि वो ज्यादा खाना देता है। व्हाट अबाउट इट्स रेजिस्टेंस पावर? मे बी द ओल्ड वैरायटीज वर नॉट गिविंग यू दिस मच अमाउंट ऑफ यील्ड, बट दे वर मोर रेजिस्टेंट। सो दैट्स व्हाई जर्म प्लाज्म बैंक में हम उनको रख देते, ताकि इन फ्यूचर इफ देयर इज एनी काइंड ऑफ पेस्ट देन इट विल बी ऑब्जर्व। Okay, so there is a very nice hypothesis proposed by Paul Ehrlich. It's called rivet popper hypothesis. आप लोगों ने रिवेट देखा होगा, सबने देखा होगा। हावड़ा ब्रिज की इमेज देखी है, उसमें ऐसे स्क्रूज होते हैं जो खोल नहीं सकते, वो फिक्स ही होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड रिवेट। सो एरोप्लेन में ऐसी बहुत सारी रिवेट्स रहती है। अब अगर एक रिवेट चला जाए तो उतना असर नहीं, 2 जाए 3 जाए, जैसे ही बढ़ने लगते तो क्या होता है, एरोप्लेन अनस्टेबल हो जाता है, और वो 3 रिवेट की वजह से बाकी रिवेट्स भी निकलना चालू हो जाता, और फिर आप समझ सकते हो, आप प्लेन में बैठे हो और आप तो उड़ सकते नहीं। अच्छा, अब here we can consider these consequences as a extinction. इकोसिस्टम में जब एक स्पीशीज की एक्सटिंक्शन होती है, it may not affect ecosystem that much, but 1 2 3 then फटाफट 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 बाकी सारे भी extinct होने लगते। Now I wish to say one, समझो प्लेन के जो पंख है वहां से एक रिवेट निकल गया, तो वो एक ही रिवेट काफी होगा। क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज द वाइटल रिवेट। तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि सर्टेन स्पीशीज आर देयर which are called key species of ecosystem. If they are removed, whole ecosystem will collapse. Okay, so there are loss of biodiversity evident. IUCN के जो रेड डेटा लिस्ट है, एक बुक है रेड डेटा लिस्ट, वो रेड नहीं होता है बुक, वो बुक ही नहीं होता है इनफैक्ट। Now the digital data is there. Why they call it red? Because it is symbolizing danger. So it says that 784 species were extinct in last 500 years. Congratulations, we are here. 2004 से लेके 2020 में हमने और थोड़े तो निपटा ही दिए होंगे, ठीक है। So there was dodo and quagga, thylacine, sea cow, Bali tiger, all these are gone thanks to us. So 27 species of dodos. Then quagga, thylacine, sea cow, and Bali javan, Caspian tiger. So soon हमारा रॉयल बंगाल टाइगर भी जाने वाला था, बट अब उसको थोड़ा हमने संभाल लिया है, वो मजे से इंसान खा के जिंदा है। Okay, so what are the reason of biodiversity loss? Or let me tell you first, let us know about the impact, क्योंकि impact से हम डरेंगे, then we will focus on reason. So first of all, if there is declination in biodiversity loss, there will be declination in production of plant. कहाँ से क्या फर्क पड़ता है प्लांट को? 4-5 एनिमल चले ही गए थे, they are indirectly connected beta, they are indirectly connected. Second is there will be environmental disasters like drought, there may be heavy rain, that is flood. Okay, हो सकता है एक एरिया डेजर्ट बन जाए। Okay, apart from that the whole cycle, biogeochemical cycle of ecosystem, I hope you are aware. मतलब हम कितना खुश हो सकते हैं ये सोच के कि मेरी बॉडी में एक H2O मॉलिक्यूल है जो शायद कभी आइंस्टाइन की बॉडी में हुआ। पॉसिबल, ठीक है, शायद मेरी एक H2O मॉलिक्यूल फ्यूचर में श्यामा के पास होगा, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ आर recycling the resources. Okay, so that will be affected. So what are the cause of loss of biodiversity? It is called evil quadrant, because 4 main reasons होते हैं: habitat loss and fragmentation. आज मैंने सुना है गोदरेज गार्डन सिटी एरिया जहां मैं रहती हूँ, मेरे हस्बैंड बोलते थे वहां जंगल था, पता है रात को जाते वक्त डर लगता था हमें, तो कोई लूट ना। We are responsible for habitat loss of people. Many a time, what is this fragmentation? बड़ी सी जंगल है, बीच में हमने एक रास्ता बना दिया है, इस तरफ जंगल है उस तरफ जंगल है, बीच में एनिमल जैसे ही रास्ते पे आता है गाड़ी से उड़ा देते हैं, फिर हम बोलते शर्म नहीं आती, रास्ते पे आ जाता है। वो रास्ते पे नहीं आया है, तू उसके जंगल के बीच में आया है, so who will understand? So this is the most important cause, habitat loss and fragmentation. रेन फॉरेस्ट में एरिया जो था पहले दैट वाज 14%, अब वो 6% हो गया अर्थ में उसकी एरिया। ओके, अमेज़न रेन फॉरेस्ट को फ्रैगमेंटेशन भी किया गया है जैसे आप देख सकते हो, बट देयर वाज अ नोबल एफर्ट बाय दीज पीपल, दे क्रिएटेड ब्रिजेस थ्रू व्हिच एनिमल्स कैन क्रॉस द रोड। So the next is over exploitation. As I said that हम कभी सोच ही नहीं पाते आगे, आज है ना कल देखेंगे। So there was a plant in India, was नहीं अभी भी है thankfully, which is called सर्पगंधा। आपने सुना नहीं होगा कि नहीं पता, राउल्फिया सर्पेंटिना जंगल में पाया जाता था। कितनी खुशी की बात है, लोग जंगल में जाते थे, उसके पार्ट्स निकालते थे, लेके आ जाते थे। किसी ने सोचा नहीं कि भाई हम सिर्फ सारे सर्पगंधा उखाड़ उखाड़ के ले लेंगे तो फिर इन नेक्स्ट ईयर व्हाट वी विल डू, वो अपने आप तो ग्रो होगा नहीं, आई नीड टू डू समथिंग। Thankfully, it was endangered in IUCN red data book, and we took care. And now there is cultivation in North Bengal. They cultivate this, and it is going towards normal. Okay, so हम over exploit करते हैं, we never think. ठीक है, मुझे याद है लास्ट टाइम जब लॉकडाउन था ना, आपको डर लग जाएगा, पता है लोग इतना खाना खरीदते थे। Next is alien species invasion. You know, we talked about Ecornia, terror of Bengal, water hyacinth. So then we talk about cichylids. So see, there is a Nile perch which was introduced in Lake Victoria. लोगों को खुशी हुई थी कि you can see the image of Nile perch. I don't know ऐसा भयानक फिश किसको लाना है, but they ate all cichlid fish, and cichlid, more than 200 species of cichlids were extinct. Nature is having its balance, we should not play with that. Okay, like carrot gas, Parthenium, it is worse now. Its pollens are causing breathing problems. So they are now weed. It is a national problem in India, carrot gas or Parthenium. Someone took it from from by looking into the beauty of the plant. Same is lantana and water hyacinth. They are damaging the native species. African cattlefish, which is used for aquaculture, was like causing harm to indigenous cattlefish. You can see हमारा नजर वही प्रोडक्शन, अफ्रीकन कैटलफिश का साइज देखा है, but it's neither tasty not nutritious. साइज हम ला दिए, अब जो अच्छे वाले थे वो they are going. So there is the fourth quadrant of this evil quadrant, that is co-extinction. Two organisms are dependent with each other. Consider if all blue green algae are deleted, the lichen fungi will be deleted. Rhizobium gone, Matarka plant gone, because they are showing mutualism. Okay, so what we can do to conserve biodiversity? Three reasons are there. Narrowly utilitarian argument. It says मिल रहा है खा लो बाद में देखें. Not correct. Broadly utilitarian, that we should use, but same time we should grow them, rear them, so that in future we will have some. Ethical argument says that you cannot use the, why to take life of others? So neither the narrowly is possible nor the ethical possible. We need to settle down in the middle. Okay. So types of conservation, two types, in situ and ex situ. In situ means on site. For example, in a jungle, Assam, Kaziranga forest, there is rhinoceros. If I am conserving it in its area, in its habitat, it is in situ conservation. Ex situ means I am collecting a few rhinoceros, placing them somewhere else in a zoo or in other area, and conserving with them there, giving protection, that is ex situ. So in situ conservation, as there can be national parks, sanctuary, biosphere reserve, there can be cultural landscape, natural monuments, etc. Okay. India has 14 biosphere reserve, 90 national parks, and 448 wildlife sanctuaries, where poachers are freely moving. And many a times it is observed that rakshak hi bhakshak hai, and they illegally cut down the trees and hunt the animals. So, I told you that there in Indian Constitution it is mentioned as a fundamental duty to conserve the national treasure. So, what are the difference between these national parks, sanctuary? Why they are different? So, national parks are strictly for welfare of wildlife. Cultivation, grazing, building house, nothing is allowed in that. बट अभी ये एराविकुलम में एक प्रेग्नेंट हाथी को मार डाला था ना. Okay, in sanctuary only protection is given to animal and it is a bit lenient. Okay, where collection of timber, जो आदिवासी लोग है, they can go there for collection of timber products and others are allowed, but there is a strict rule, you cannot harm the animal. If you are caught red-handed, that means you will be punished by Indian government. Okay, biosphere reserves are actually area where human and or animals coexist. They can stay there, but it is expected that they should not cause harm. Sacred grove or sacred forests are having high impact in our Indian culture. Forest people believe in gods. They believe. जैसे आप अगर सुंदरवन फॉरेस्ट में जाओगे, वो लोग जब हनी कलेक्ट करने जाते हैं ना, वो वन बीवी बोल के लेडी है, लाइक इट्स नॉट अ लेडी, गॉडेस, एंड दक्षिण राय बोल के गॉड है, इन दोनों का पूजा करते कि इनको हमें गुस्सा नहीं दिलाना है, then the man-eater Royal Bengal tiger can consume. So these beliefs are very protective for certain forests. So these areas where local people feel that this is the sacred area and we should not destroy it are known as sacred grove. So in ex situ conservation, we can talk about genetic resource center, like areas where germplasm is collected, sperm is collected, the seeds are collected. They can be zoological park or zoo. There can be safari park. जैसे ये आपका गिर फॉरेस्ट, it's a safari park. There can be botanical gardens, gene bank जहाँ उनकी DNA रख दी जाती. Okay, and cryopreservation. That means cryo means ice. So we can preserve the organisms in ice for future use. अब पूछोगे कि ice में है तो जिंदा तो रहेगा नहीं, क्या use? उसकी cells तो रहेगी ना. We can study, we can collect material from them. So what is hotspot? The area of world where diversity is too high is called biodiversity hotspot. So they also have endemism. What is endemism? Endemic species are species which are found only in that area. जैसे Royal Bengal tiger is endemic species of Sundarban forest. It is not found anywhere else. Okay. So Total 34 such hotspots are there in world, and out of them 3 are present in India. That is Western Ghat, Sri Lanka and Indo-Burma Himalayan region. So why Western Ghat, not Eastern Ghat? Try to find this answer and let me know about it. Okay. So these are the hotspots. So all hotspots are together covering only 2%, less than 2% of Earth land area, but they are covering 30% of species richness. So you can understand how important they are. So there was various Earth summit, and they where world leaders thought about conservation of biodiversity. They proposed about different plans to conserve sustainable use. What do we mean by this word sustainable use? Not more, not less. The large utilitarian, where you are cultivating them as well as using them. And sharing benefit arises for genetical resources. So there are various types of world summit, and through this we thought of conserving biodiversity. So what do you feel? Should we? So sometime when you are free, nakshatra, when you are free, okay, try and list down the things which are causing harm in your life. You are using and causing harm to the ecosystem. There will be thousands. Out of them, some we cannot avoid. For example, I came here with a vehicle which is releasing petroleum emission. I cannot walk and come. It's not feasible. But out of that, you underline areas which we can do, but we don't. That is very important for us to try this sometime. Okay. Everything is not for marks. Okay. So with this, we are done with the chapter. Bye to all of you.